video brought to you by W Energy. Use code INF10 for 10% off your order at checkout at w.gg. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Isaac and Friends video. It's so awesome to see everyone today. So, I think everyone's pretty much hearing about this stuff going around. Apparently, YouTube has decided that they're going to start trying, or that they're planning on putting into their policies that any video including links or descriptions with links to quote-unquote websites that they can't verify, that YouTube is going to start taking those videos down and possibly taking the possibly
Revelio.
Taking down channels for this. Now, I'm going to be blunt. I was going to make a video of this just in and of itself. For those of you guys that have not been on the channel for very long, I do sometimes talk about business, because that's something I grew up with. I was raised in the business world to an extent. My parents ran their own family little business.
Ancient secrets bring forth an age of magic with the rise of...
Now, there are some problems here, okay? Now, the problem, unfortunately, hello, Henny. Is this in and of itself is quite frankly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Because what it really boils down to is that YouTube is trying to control people's ability to get sponsors, or to put sponsor websites on their videos or in their descriptions. And it comes off to me,
I've always said that travel broadens the mind,
as though YouTube seems to be trying to run themselves like there's some special club for rich college kids and corporations. Because we've been through three different adpocalypses. For those of you guys who don't know what an adpocalypse is, it's literally where YouTube has been having some trouble with ad revenue due to the fact of various things in different eras of reasoning. Some part of it is, most of it honestly is media reaction, where newspapers are publishing nasty things about YouTube, and rather than, and a number of times it's not been actually true. And rather than basically taking these publications to court, like they should, at this point, considering the sheer amount of damage to their business that it's done, they basically chickened out, bent the knee, and have progressively made it more and more difficult to actually make money on YouTube using ad revenue. Now, YouTubers, weirdly enough, being somewhat apparently reticent and intelligent to realize that ad revenue is not necessarily a stable source of income, decided to do things like coming up with our own merch and getting sponsors and partners. which is an immune response for a lot of larger content creators. Their channels have people that they pay money to do things, like edit their
I've arranged a special price
videos
on the
or
broom
doing
upgrade for
things
you.
like that.
I truly appreciate all of your help.
But
Nice doing business with you.
for whatever reason, YouTube is essentially deciding that they're going to try and effectively damage content creators as much as possible. Which, to me, almost comes off as though it's literally almost like a childish, vengeful thing of how dare you find ways around our demonetization policies. How dare you find ways to make money without us, basically.
You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. I must tell you, half of Hogsmeade's been by the shop asking about rumours of a broom upgrade. Without the information you provided, my work would have taken twice as long. Thank you again. It may sound ambitious, but I've already begun work on another upgrade, more difficult to perfect than the last. I wondered, would you be interested in joining forces again? There's another course near Arendale that Miss Reyes has mastered. If you were to test this first upgrade there, it may help me as I develop the next. Oh, you'll consider it, won't you?
Sure, we'll help you, man,
Sounds as if
Mr.
you're
Weeks.
really outdoing yourself. If I'm able to help, I will.
Thank you. I know this recent success was only the beginning of what I can do for Broom Flight.
But, anyway, back to what I was saying. Essentially, what it is boiling down to is YouTube created a market for people to need or have a requirement
races,
to
then.
have another means of income, i.e. another means of being able to have income and stuff like that. But instead of leaning into it and finding ways to actually help content creators, such as creating a sponsorship program where they're able to help negotiate and build sponsorships for content creators for a small bit of a fee, like a 10-20% fee, they're deciding to make it just that much harder to actually get to have a sponsorship. Which is absolutely ridiculous. YouTube, through their own blundering and own what I would only classify it as college level stupidity, because they couldn't be bothered to rationally understand or realize or think, hey, ad revenue isn't stable enough. And the other means that we're trying to produce, clearly people are either finding issue with or they don't want to deal with because we're not providing enough. For example, YouTube Premium used to have YouTube Red that got taken away. Right? But instead, I'm saying, hey, let's look at what's going on to try and make this better. No, we're just going to try and make it to where we kind of try and take that option away from content creators. I'd almost say like a belligerent child who isn't happy that they can't have as much control as they wanted. And I know that sounds mean. I know that sounds awful. Sound a little bit crazy, but it seems to be leaning toward that pretty much. Where they're so determined to have absolute control on how anyone makes any kind of cash on YouTube. That they're willing to basically make it as hard as possible to actually function and create content on their platform while making money. Does it make sense? No. Are they continuing to do it for some strange reason? Yes. So, what we're dealing with, essentially, is YouTube has failed to actually properly adapt. And due to their failure to properly adapt and properly monetize, and their insistence on trying to be buddy-buddy with media outlets and papers that clearly want
healing potions are a speciality here. Should you need any?
Want the
Hello, Mr. Pippin. You need help with the delivery?
company to fail.
Yes, I do. A capable
To some
student
extent.
such as yourself should have no trouble making the trip to Cambridge.
What do you need delivered?
Fatima Lawang ordered a few invisibility potions. I used to go myself, but lately Fatima has taken to turning every visit into an argument. Constantly complaining about the quality of my stock. But how can I maintain excellence when she orders so often, giving me no time to brew? If you take this rather irritating task off my hands, I'd happily allow you to claim the delivery fee from Fatima.
Happy to help.
I'd be happy to help with the delivery.
You've no idea how grateful I am, truly. Here are the invisibility potions she requested. Hopefully she won't give you too much trouble. She's a talented potioneer in her own right. I dare say I wouldn't mind having a look at her potion recipes one day.
But, it's getting to the point, really, where, like I've said before, it's irritating beyond measure. And it shouldn't be that irritating. And it really does bring the question, like, does YouTube really want one to make money itself? Because the sheer amount of effort it goes to try and control content creators to the point where content creators are flat out leaving the platform because they're just sick and tired of it. Like, there has to be a point when you kind of decide that maybe it's a good time to stop. When pretty much every single one of the people that actually make the content for your platform that draws people's attention to the platform are kind of tired of it. But it gets even worse and worse as you have to realize that a good number of these same content creators, they make a living on this platform. They have businesses on this platform. They have an actual stake in the platform. And while YouTube tries to be buddy-buddy with these corporations, essentially doing what, to quote Niccolo Machiavelli, they are putting their business, they are putting the safety and future of their state/company in the hands of mercenaries. And something that
Revelio.
Machiavelli did actually. Now, I know when people hear that, they're
should've
like,
been
oh,
here by
poster
now."
boy of villains. And like, no, actually, Machiavelli's real thing was that he had been, in fact, an advisor to multiple different principalities and
Always
countries
think
in the
that,
Italian nation states.
Madam Luang, I have a delivery from J. Pippin's potions.
Sent a child to do his work for him, did he? Always cutting corners and taking the easy way out. Did he have you brew them for him as well? Doesn't matter. You could probably do it better than he can anyway.
Why do you keep ordering from him if you think the quality to be inferior?
It would seem I have more and more customers who are trying to stay out of sight. I'm not one to judge. You can simply imagine the stress I'm under to deliver quality products. Unlike some vendors, I strive to keep my customers satisfied.
Here are the potions you requested.
You think it's so simple? I know Pippin is always trying to cheat his customers. Cutting corners to save some galleons for himself at the expense of quality. You'll not be getting a canut out of me until you prove the potion works. Drink it.
Seems simple enough. I'll do it.
I should think so.
It seems to have worked.
Well, I suppose that will do.
If the demand for potions is as high as you say, have you considered being easier to work with? Perhaps combining your recipes and skills?
Not a chance. That ne'er-do-well had his shop handed to him. The rest of us had to make our own way. I'll not give him the benefit of my hard work and gumption. If he fails on his own, so be it.
Can you tell me
You
about your
mentioned
customers?
that more and more customers are trying to stay out of sight. Why?
Well, I can't speak for all of them, but certainly my Ashwinder customers have their reasons. If I were you, I'd forget I heard that.
Very well.
Very well. I shall let Mr. Pippin know I delivered the potions as requested.
You do that.
What do you have for sale?
What are we looking for today?
But,
A fine choice. Exactly what I would have chosen.
essentially,
Thank you for stopping in.
on top
I
of all
appreciate
this,
it.
basically, what we're seeing is YouTube just basically trying to find any way they can to damage content creators at this point, like I've said before. And it makes no sense. And what it's doing is it's chasing content creators off their platform. And I'm sorry, but you cannot run a business like it's a frickin' club. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. But at any rate, basically, while they're trying to hinder people's ability to get sponsors and to get all of that, what I can honestly see happening, really,
Welcome. Do let me know if I can be of any assistance at all.
Because not only does it affect that, but it also affects people trying to
I
link,
delivered the
per
potions
se,
to Fatima
their
Lawan.
Twitter accounts, their
Very
Rumble
good.
accounts.
And did she cause you any trouble?
Well, I can see why you didn't want to go. She was quite cantankerous.
I do truly appreciate your help. And at least it's done with.
It was a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Pippin.
Likewise. Worth every bit of that delivery fee to have someone capable deal with that witch.
Best of luck with your potions, Mr. Pippin.
Do take care.
But, I don't know. I don't know what to really say about YouTube at this point. I've never seen a company so determined to shoot itself in the foot. Because what I can see honestly happening here a good chance of an almost class action lawsuit. And I say this because it's literally definitely one of those things that's anti-consumer, anti-competition, and the funniest thing is it didn't even have to be.
Revelio. Lumos.
Right? Doesn't have to be. That makes 0 sense why they're doing it. But well, I say it makes 0 sense, but let's be honest. They're probably thinking, oh, well, if we prevent our competition from being able to be linked in people's videos, whatever. But at the same time, that's really a good way to
Lumos.
wind up very, very broke. As pretty much everybody decides to come and take you to court at once. And I say this in all truth because to be fair and blunt, you really are talking about something that is most certainly not going to be taken nicely by anybody, especially not their competitors, not the content creators that need those sponsorships to actually pay their workers, their employees, to take care of the people on their platforms and on their channels. And like I said, there are ways YouTube could legitimately help their content creators and make a good penny doing it. With YouTube Red being gone, what they could do, even with YouTube Premium, is they could do the same thing that like TubeBuddy does, right? And all they'd have to do is add a little feature to their website. And all they'd have to do is add maybe a thumbnail creator, a thing that actually suggests tags to content creators, helps them with the most basic equipment and tools to actually start up a channel, like an end screen, maybe some, stuff here and there to help out. A means to help try and give content creators an idea of, okay, how easy is this video to find on the search algorithm? How easy is it going to be for my viewers to be able to find my content, which would actually end up helping a lot of people including them. How many different content creators have been yelling at YouTube about how they can't be found, or constantly berating them because they're not getting the view count they're supposed to, they're not getting this, they're not getting that, and they're constantly trying to ask, how do I get seen? And YouTube refuses to answer. Or they do answer, but it's the most copy-paste BS explanation on the face of the earth.
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this class.
A dodo!
Be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we? Miss Sweeting, would you please assist our new student with the lesson today?
Yes, Professor Howen. Hello, I'm Poppy Sweeting. Don't worry about Professor Howen's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe. Oh!
Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor. Here, you can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue.
Yes.
You can use my brush. Just be gentle. Oh, and think pleasant thoughts. I like to think it enriches his experience. That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast feed?
Giving up spell slots to feed the...
What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? Pudding.
Probably bogey.
I think we can safely say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
He is. Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition. And cleanliness.
Something spooked the kitty in his sleep.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Neasels in the farthest pen?
This way. The Neasels are over here.
Yeah. And unfortunately... But the thing is, it does seem YouTube is just intent.
Oh, couple of Neasel whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes. Stupid thing.
This idiot's gonna get himself scratched.
What in Merlin's name are you doing?
Tuss, peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent.
Her name is Persephone.
Her name is Persephone.
How about I punch you?
That's really not funny.
Let's go.
No hurt to critters.
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class. Poachers in training. Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on. Feed and brush the Neasels just as you did with Gerald. The Neasels really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do I.
It appears our time has come to an end. Please close the pens and see yourselves out. Now, where is our new student? Ah, there you are. I would like a moment, please.
Here you go. Good kitties.
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts
I enjoyed
lesson?
it.
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. You seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps?
An
Yeah.
optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we
Why?
can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other fifth years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study as many beasts as you can on your own time.
Psst. Psst. Over here.
Do you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet. In the forest.
Sounds intriguing.
You've intrigued me. Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would.
But
I wouldn't take just anyone there. In fact, you're the first.
Really? Well, thank you. I think.
As I said, we think alike.
but
Pleasant surprise.
no.
Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you.
It bothers me a little bit
Don't
what
worry,
I've been
we're
talking
nearly
about
there.
because
It's
even though
just
I'm
ahead.
small enough now that I'm glad that I have my partners with Dubby, it does strike me as kind of a pain in the butt if we
Stand
ever want to
back.
grow and get more partners, more sponsors, things like that. Ooh! A buckbeak. Or a hippogriff.
Please meet Highwing. Isn't he magnificent?
I eat your liver!
Go on, introduce yourself to her. But be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them.
Bow? Where's the bow button?
I knew it. I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody.
Ah! Ah!
So, what did you think of
She's
Highway?
brilliant.
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And I might not be there next time.
Professor Howin mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the Ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howin, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
Sounds suspicious.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's going on. What they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, you know, I do want this channel to grow. I do want to eventually have some more partners ourselves to where we're able to advertise and do stuff and be able to earn a little bit more payment with this channel, which can definitely help a lot. And it does seem, like I said, that YouTube is straight up now effectively trying to make it that much harder. Almost like a petulant child that's upset that people have found a workaround to what they were doing. And honestly, I don't see how that really should be just absolute surprise to YouTube in general.
Oh, watch the tile under your feet. You'll set off something foul.
I still think that's disturbing. Hamara. And it's like, you know, you create a market, right? You create a market for content creators to try and find a way to pay for their stuff while dealing with the instability of ad revenue, and then you get mad about it. And it does feel like they've been trying to stop content creators or deter content creators from getting sponsors for a long time. And I think in part it's because they haven't been getting a cut out of it. But at the same time, it's like, if you want a cut out of it,
Revelio.
there are better ways of doing that than what they've been doing.
Confringo.
Right? And it's like, if you want a cut of it, that's fine. But then the idea would be to do something to earn it. And let's be honest, content creators don't like being business owners, really. We want to be able to just relax and not deal with it. Now, the best way then that YouTube could actually handle this is to go, hey, we'll take care of that for you, right? We'll go through and we'll make sure that the people that you're going to be sponsored by are, first off, legit, right? There's so many scams out there, it's not funny. And it's not funny that so many content creators get caught up in these scams. For example, a certain recent scam that got discovered, which was the quote-unquote established titles thing. YouTube could actually go through, vet everything, do all that stuff, make sure that that doesn't happen again, which helps them in the long term, by the way, because it means that now there's less likely to be a scam than anything else that content creators get involved with. And they make a little penny out of it. All they'd have to do, let's say, is get $1,000,000 for 250 million channels, and they get $250 billion easily out of a single video. I mean, you couldn't make money any easier doing that. But they've chosen not to do it. In fact, if anything, like I said, it feels like they're essentially trying to make it purposely difficult and get angry with us when we try to act in our own defense. It's like, it's called an immune response. If you make something difficult for people to do, i.e. like making a living, they're going to do whatever they can to make that living, to make money. Especially, you know, if they have a fan base where they're able to do something like make their own merchandise or be able to sell goods or whatever. So there's no reason really to get angry with us about it.
Hey, it's me, Gareth.
Were you calling me Gareth?
I was hoping you might want to redeem yourself for not having brought me that Fupa feather and potions. You see, I have an idea for a fizzing Wisby-inspired beverage, but I'm missing a key ingredient.
You and your concoctions. I don't know how you come up with these things.
It's a gift, truly. So, I suspect the key ingredient in fizzing Wisbies is dried billywig stings. I heard there's a store of them in Honeyduke's cellar. I'd get them myself, but my Aunt Matilda has her eye on me. Thinks I need to focus on potions class for a while, not for my own brews. I was hoping you could follow a secret passage to Honeyduke's cellar and grab a few dried billywig stings for me.
Sounds rather untoward.
I don't know, Gareth. Secret passage to a cellar. Sounds like it's off limits.
Not at all. It's a perfectly legitimate secret passage. I'd use it if I could. The passage is hidden behind the statue of a one-eyed witch in the 3rd floor corridor. Just tap it with your wand and say, Descendium.
Can you buy them from them?
Couldn't you have someone buy the dried billywig stings?
They're not for sale, and you never know when the cellar's going to be locked. So, the reliable way in and out is through the secret entrance.
Isn't this stealing?
Are you asking me to steal from a shop?
Goodness, it's not as if I'm asking you to rob Gringotts. Honeyduke's is more than enough, and I only need a few. It's a sweets ingredient. They won't be missed. Trust me.
Give it a try.
I'll see what I can do, Gareth.
Fair enough. You shall be the first one to taste my newest brew if you can be of help. Perhaps I can convince a meat to help me with my potions homework. Get my aunt to loosen her reins a bit.
I'll need to get those dried billywig stings for Gareth if he's to finish his latest concoction. A one-eyed witch statue shouldn't be too hard to find. Hello again, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I was hoping to see you again, my young friend. Gladwin Moon, Hogwarts caretaker, at your service. First, please allow me to apologize if I seemed a bit, unsteady when we last... Although I hear your visit to Hogsmeade was even more eventful than mine.
I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack.
Oh, of course not. From what I understand, the village was lucky you were there. In fact, my recent visit to Hogsmeade is the reason I was hoping to bump into you. I could use your help with something. Do you see that curious statue over there? Watch what happens when that light changes from day to night.
Oh.
Now, if you wouldn't mind humoring me for a moment, see if you can remove the moon from the statue. Ooh, odd little contraptions, aren't they? It seems the statue vanishes once the moon is removed, which, incidentally, can only be done at night. Why don't you hold on to that one for now, and I'll explain more as we walk. Ever since that fateful day in the village, those curious statues have begun appearing about the castle. A fair number have been strewn around Hogsmeade. Someone, it seems, is trying to torment me. You see, that day in Hogsmeade, I turned a corner and came face to face with a boggart, or shapeshifter, if you will, which takes the form of whatever scares you most. This one took the form of a demiguise.
A demiguise?
Yes. Terrifying creature that can see the future. Very unnerving. I encountered one when I was a lad in Korea. Terrible experience. Those statues are demiguises. The moons, I assume, are an uninspired play on my name. Some jackanapes used a boggart to learn my greatest fear and use it against me. I have my suspicion as to the scoundrel or scoundrels responsible. It is my hope that they will slip up and reveal themselves as the statues disappear. That is why I need your help in removing the statues.
Why me?
A couple of reasons, frankly. First, your daring do against those trolls in Hogsmeade has gained you a reputation for fearlessness. Second, as macabre and hideous as a demiguise is, most would find my fear of them unwarranted. You, however, have seen how they affect me. I'm at my wit's end, young friend. I simply can't bring myself
poor guy.
to go near them. In fact, I know of two statues right here in the faculty tower. Perhaps you could start simply by removing them, so I can go about my evening duties.
I'd be happy to help.
I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I knew I could count on you. First, you know how to cast a disillusionment charm, correct? You'll want to do that before wandering the tower at night. Next, you'll notice that the door is locked. However will you get in? Alahomora, that's how.
But what about curfew?
Curfew? Oh, tosh. I sense you're a bit like me when I was your age. Oh, the school was my oyster. And I took advantage of it. Oh, everyone loved me for it. Oh, those were the days. Now, you'll find one statue in the prefect's bathroom and the other in the hospital wing. Good luck. Oh, and thank you.
But, yeah.
Alohomora.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. Okay.
Well done! You're in. Remember, use ultimate charm so no one claps eyes on you. This is a restricted area of the castle, after all.
Right. But,
How are your students getting along this year?
Rather poorly, I'd say.
Is that so?
We're raising a generation of coddled cape flappers that can scarcely tell the difference between Arcanite and
oh boy. Move along, little prefect.
This must be the prefect's bathroom.
There we go.
Saying that Ranrock's loyalists are preparing for a rebellion. Rude.
Revelio.
Stirring up trouble. Perhaps Ranrock and Hyssop wouldn't be so combative if the Ministry would allow them to have one. One of those... Or Helm, I suppose. Anyway, I'm not afraid of a goblin rebellion. My marksman Professor Hecker's trust. I don't feel...
We're sneaking around. But, yeah. So, outside of YouTube doing their foolishness, I hope somebody...
No. Plenty of other perils and pitfalls to send them my way, though. Well, I suppose I should begin my rounds now.
I suppose Professor Black knows best, but... about Quidditch being cancelled.
I had planned to bet a few galleons on Hufflepuff this season.
Hufflepuff? Or Ravenclaw?
Revelio.
Trying to sneak around these guys. And make my way finally back to our friend the groundskeeper.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect.
Oh, goodness! You're as fearless as I'd hoped. An excellent start. If we can collect more, it may shed some light on who's behind all this. Of course, I first suspected Peeves. He drove the previous caretaker, Rancorous Carp, to an early retirement with his intolerable buffoonery. But that does not explain the boggart in Hogsmeade, does it? No. I am determined, with your help, to discover the identity of my tormentor.
Be glad to help.
It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to help you solve this mystery.
You, my friend, are a gentle person and a scholar, and I have something to offer in exchange for your assistance. Now, remember, the moons are only retrievable at night. Thus, I encourage you to use a disillusionment when necessary.
I'll keep looking.
Understood. I shall keep an eye out.
I appreciate that.
Yep. But
Oh, I knew you were the one to ask for help. Keep at
so
it.
I'm going to end this video here, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next video. Stay safe, my friends. Take care.